Hey, what's up everyone? Today I'll be talking about the top 5 PDWs in Phantom Forces. On number 5 we got the UMP-45. This gun is particularly good because it does 45 to the head and it has a really good torso multiplier. It only holds 25 bullets but still has a really good fire rate of 650. It's still pretty good for a rank 5 PDW. And for this gun, the best really stuff to run on it is defaults, mostly defaults, delta sight, vertical grip, and red laser is what I like to use. And for a PDW, it does a ton of damage. It does specifically 43, wait no, 60 to the head, which is amazing, which means it 2 taps head at pretty much, pretty close range. And overall, this PDW is just amazing for a rank 5 gun. Like, a lot of people wouldn't expect it to be this good for rank 5, but it really is, and it's quite underused in my opinion. Like, way too little people, I guess, are using it. It needs to be used more, but I guess that would make it way too, I guess, not underrated anymore. But for a PDW, amazing gun. Like, you couldn't really do better for rank 5 in my opinion. Like, it even beats out some of the assault rifles at range, which is actually amazing. And anyways, let's move on to the next PDW. Number 4, we got the MP7. MP7 is actually a really good PDW. It does a pretty good amount of damage, even though it does a lot less than the UMP-45. It still does 30 damage at close range, which is pretty good. It does 40 to the head, which means it does 3 tap, which is a little bit worse than the UMP-45, but it does make itself a little bit better by, in my opinion, having a fire rate of 950 instead of, what was it, 650 I think, which does make it faster firing, but this gun also has a lot worse recoil, which means it's going to be worse at longer range compared to the UMP, but it does give it an advantage with, close range. At close range it is going to be better than the UMP, and in my opinion it's just overall, I mean, they're about the same, really. They're about the same. I'd use the UMP for longer ranges, but I'd use the MP7 for closer range maps. So overall, it's like kind of choose what you like. It's what situation is better for it. Personally, I like to use the UMP over the MP7, but that's just my opinion. And just overall, this gun's pretty good. It's really good with the mini sight and red laser, and any really grip you can use. Skeleton grip is especially good on it because it uses what already is a really light weapon and makes it even lighter, so better mobility than the UMP. And it has, I guess it doesn't really matter too much, but 5 extra bullets in the mag compared to the UMP. 5 extra, 30 versus 25, and there's, yeah, a lot less damage. There's a big damage drop off at longer ranges, but you're not going to be using it for longer ranges since it does have quite a bit of recoil compared to the UMP. But overall, it's pretty good for hip fire use. It's really good aim down sights too. And that's pretty much it for the MP7. It's a rank 9, which is only 4 ranks above the MP5. I mean, not MP5, the UMP-45, which is still pretty good. And a lot of people use this weapon because of how fast it fires and the time to kill is really quick. And overall, for a rank 9 gun, it's pretty amazing. There's a few guns that might beat it, but overall, it's pretty good for a PDW that's rank 9. And let's move on to the next gun. Alright, next up is the L2A3. L2A3 is on the higher side of the rank, under rank 60 part, being rank 53, but it's still a pretty good PDW in being it was intended to replace the Sen gun. I guess it doesn't really matter, but it does do a similar amount of damage to the UMP, it being regular 36 to the body, and compared to the UMP, which is 43. Still less damage, and it does have a slower, actually, yeah, it does have a slower fire rate by 100. That being 550 compared to 650, but it does have a really good head multiplier of 1.40, which means I think it was a 2 heads, just barely, which is really good. Even though it has a slow fire rate and a bit of recoil, the recoil can be controlled pretty easily with a comp aim point sight and a compensator, which is pretty good. But the main thing this gun is good for is, hip fire. It has really good hip fire on it, especially at longer ranges, which means this gun is really good for just, I guess, playing casually or rushing the enemy with hip fire. Not enough time to aim down sights, I guess. But there's not much to really say about this gun. It's not really the best gun on the list. It's not really the worst either, but in my opinion, it's still really good for PDWs. And I still put on my top 5 list personally. That's pretty much all to say about this gun. Alright, next up on the list is the P90. The P90 on this list is actually in the middle of the ranks. And what I mean by that is it is rank 24, which is pretty much in the middle of 60 and I guess 0. But it's in the middle there. And this gun is pretty good because 50 round mag. With the Civvy mag, I think it does do more damage, but it does have 20 less bullets. It has about the same fire rate as the MP7 and less recoil, which does make it a better gun, even though it is heavier. And I'm pretty sure it does do a little bit less damage than the MP7 though, which does make it a little bit worse in that area, but overall it's better. And 50 bullets is actually amazing for PDW. But you do need a pretty good grip and a compensator on it to make it usable aim down sights, because it does have quite a bit of recoil, even more than MP7, I think. Overall, it's pretty good for rank 24, and I use it a lot. I have about 200 kills on it, which isn't too much, but this gun is a lot better than a lot of PDWs out there, and it's pretty well known for being an iconic gun. And the reload is also pretty quick on it. It is what some other type of weird reload, but it's pretty good on it. It doesn't do best damage at range, obviously, since it's PDW, but even still, pretty good. I would only use on close maps because even with the compensator, it does have pretty bad recoil on it. But overall, great gun, and I'd put it at number 4 for this reason. Alright, at finally number 5 on this list is the Colt SMG 633. Pretty long name, but also on this list it has the highest fire rate of any PDW, being 1,000. Only 50 higher, but still 50 extra is a lot. And this gun is pretty light in comparison to others, even lighter than MP7, I'm pretty sure. It has really good irons in my opinion, and it has pretty controllable recoil. It has the normal mag size of 32, but still, it does quite a bit of damage for a 1000 RPM gun, and controllable too. So I would use it personally a lot, even though it is on the higher rank, being 49. It's only 3 ranks lower than an L2A3, which we talked about earlier. And overall, it's really good for, I guess, close and medium range, because it does have not a lot of recoil, especially not a lot of recoil for 1000 fire rate gun, which does make it pretty amazing for a lot of things, and it's considerably a lot better than a lot of PDWs out there under rank 50. And yeah, it's a pretty good gun for what I think it is. And this is it for my top 5 video. I hope you enjoyed, and leave a like if you liked it, I guess. And that's it.